Good day, my name is Daniel Harrod, and I am under the team of Manny, Mohammed, and Loren. And I'm going to be speaking to us basically on, the introduction and the background of IBM for us to be able to understand IBM and for me to be able to give a foundational level for my other teammates to build on. And first of all, what is IBM? IBM simply means the International Business Machines. And the main ideas I want you to take away from IBM is that IBM was founded in the year 1911, is over a century right now. IBM offers services such as maintenance and consulting. IBM became the major provider of AI. IBM degenerated its operations. IBM's strategy is maximizing the value of hybrid cloud services. IBM strategy provides skills or prioritize skills rather more than credentials. That is to say, IBM focused their hiring strategy on, getting the best pool of applicants that have the right skills rather than just, the educational degree. IBM also, from what we read, is precise about AI. They are known for artificial intelligence. And also IBM, have a P-Tech program that they run in colleges, which is centered on attracting the best pool of applicants to them. And also they are consistent in their innovation service. The case analysis objectives for the IBM case that we looked at is, first of all, we try to identify problems that IBM could be facing. And also we tried to also look at the evidence behind the possible problems, which at the end of the day, my other teammates are going to be discussing. We also looked at the perspectives, the assessments, and the solutions that are necessary to be able to solve these problems and make IBM, to be a leading brand in the tech industry. Then recommendations and possible implications. And after the recommendations and possible implications, we tried to pick out the best recommendation possible for IBM to be able to use to solve their problem. Then the problem and the significance. So these problems were a few problems that from the general case in summary, these problems were identified, and then my teammates are going to throw more light on the general overview of problems that IBM faced. But IBM had a problem of slow speed of scale due to the the technicality in the hiring process. There was also a complexity hiring process, just like what I said from start, because they had this, procedure of that they imbibed in order to be able to hire the best applicants. So that made the hiring process very complex. Heavy demand of management effort, lack of balance due to too much focus on behavioral approach as well. And then the significance of all this problem is simple, just for us to be able to think critically, for us to be able to found the foundation of problem solving, and also for us to carefully be able to analyze the cases. Things to keep in mind is that IBM is a tech industry. They are the major providers of AI. They are focused on STEM and cloud computing. And I trust that my other teammates are going to take it from here. Thank
First, I want to start with my personal experience with a skill-first hiring approach, which is deeply rooted in my own journey. Initially, I pursued a degree in environmental engineering, but during my studies, I discovered a passion for sales. So I actively sought out experience in sales across various products and services. Years later, I interviewed with a prominent beverage company for a sales position where the CEO prioritized skills over degree. This marked the beginning of my serious sales career, which led to promotion as country sales manager in that company after nearly 4 years. That's why I believe in skills over degree. And here in IBM, the assumption here is that the skills acquired through this process are sufficient to bring non-degree hires up to speed quickly. However, there may be hidden gap in soft skills. So pair non-degree hires with senior employees as mentors from day one, or create a program focusing on soft skill development can be some recommendations. Mm, Also, implementing cross-functional team assignments that force early collaboration between degree holding and non-degree hires, which encourage knowledge sharing, is another option too. The assumption is that apprenticeships are equally effective across all roles, but there may be difference between technical and non-technical positions. Non-tech roles like sales may not offer the structured learning environments that technical roles do. So adopt models for non-tech roles and design customized programs that reflect the specific skills required in non-tech positions like client management and negotiation are highly recommended. Also, IBM could create a rotational program allowing employees to try multiple roles, increasing their chances of finding a role that fits them better. IBM could provide external training also as the opportunities through the partnership with the business schools. There is an assumption here in IBM that increasing minority representation at the hiring stage will automatically translate into long-term diversity, but minority hires may face glass ceiling when it comes to promotions. Also, managers may unconsciously favor degree-holding employees for promotion. So IBM should conduct studies and develop internal diversity task force tracking minority hires from recruitment through promotion, ensuring that diversity efforts are successful not just in hiring but also in career advancement. And here, the assumption is that faster hiring translates to better outcomes, but this doesn't take into account the huge investment that IBM makes in training. So IBM should develop a cost-benefit analysis model that factors in both the time to hire and the long-term cost of training and upskilling. Also, developing a platform making the upskilling process more efficient and less costly over time is another option. And finally, the assumption that AI-driven tools can eliminate human bias in hiring may be invalid. AI-based tools might undervalue soft skills like collaboration and leadership, which are so important in organizations. So I recommend developing a hybrid hiring process where AI serves as a guide, but HR managers retain the final decision-making authority, and expanding AI systems to include soft skill assessments to evaluate how candidates handle real-world challenges.
Now we'll discuss strategies to enhance IBM's skills first approach in our hiring practices. We have identified several key solutions to address biases, improve communication, and foster a skills first culture. Let's dive into each solution and see how it will benefit our organization. Our first solution is to develop comprehensive training programs. The objective here is to mitigate biases and ensure a consistent understanding of our skills first strategy across all levels of the organization. We'll achieve this by creating mandatory training modules focused on skills first hiring principles and unconscious bias. Regular refresher courses and workshops will ensure that the knowledge remains current and relevant. Expected outcomes include improved clarity, better alignment with our strategy, and an enhanced ability to identify and prioritize relevant skills. Next, we focus on enhancing our communication channels. The goal is to ensure that the skills first strategy is communicated clearly and effectively to all employees and stakeholders. We will develop detailed guides and facts, utilize our internal communication platforms like the intranet and newsletters, and host Q&A sessions and open forums. By doing this, we aim to increase understanding and buy-in from our employees while reducing misunderstandings and resistance to change. Our third solution is to implement bias detection tools in our hiring processes. This involves integrating AI-driven tools to assess job descriptions and candidate evaluations for biased language or criteria. We will also use standardized assessments to objectively measure candidates' skills relevant to job requirements and regularly audit our hiring practices. These actions are expected to result in more equitable and objective hiring decisions and enhance our ability to recruit candidates based on skills rather than traditional qualifications. Finally, we need to foster a skills-first culture and create effective feedback mechanisms. To embed the skills-first approach into our culture, we will recognize and reward departments that excel in implementing this strategy, share success stories, and encourage leadership to model these principles. Additionally, setting up regular feedback sessions using surveys and focus groups and implementing a feedback tracking system will help us continually refine our approach. These measures will lead to stronger alignment with our strategic goals and ongoing improvement in our hiring processes. Lastly, we will align our performance metrics with the skills first goals. This involves updating our performance evaluations to reflect the importance of skills and competencies, aligning incentives with the successful implementation of the skills first approach, and monitoring the impact on organizational performance. These steps will ensure that our performance management system supports our strategic objectives and enhances employee motivation.
All right, to sum everything up, we wanted to talk first about skills-based hiring and it has a measured impact on both the local and global talent pool. The thing we're looking at mostly is how do we look at placement growth and development for individuals. The idea about this is to make sure that we're not just placing talent to place talent, but we're placing talent in ways that they're going to be able to grow with the company inside the culture and make sure that we're able to track that consistently. By creating that, we're going to use things other than the formal credentials. So we have alternative programs that we come up with, and tracking those programs provides us with a distinct advantage in creating culture. So we're able to create talent pools, create networking, create connections with people as we fill up as a company, because eventually, our growth will have to be mitigated. We would be able to then show that we're able to see talent to other places and grow that culture as a community, not just inside, but outside of our company as well. Those are very, very important for us to make sure we're getting that. This also increases innovation. This pushes the envelope for what we're able to do. So we're going to be able to increase where we place people, how we interact with the environment, how we really help other companies or help the tech industry grow. And it's going to be on IBM to do that. So that's going to increase our training efficiency and everything else, because we will actually be able to train at a much younger age. All right, last three things here. First, we're going to work on decreasing biases by attempting to level the playing field. That starts at a younger age. That means we're going to have less merited jobs and more skills. What that means, we're going to start with like our P-Tech program, bring students in that may not be college bound but have a knack for tech, and allow them to learn how to do the job, gain the skills, so they're able to go out and consistently be competitive in the market. We want to actually make our jobs position based. What that means is the skills required for the position doesn't necessarily have merits involved. It's, can you do this? Do you have the skills? Can you make that work? To continue to foster relationships globally. So we do have some programs inside the United States and outside. As a global company, we have a global culture. So we want to make sure that we're not just affecting our local, but everywhere else. And this is going to lead to long-term healthy growth and employment. So we're going to be able to take a person, grow them within our company so they become more than just a footnote in what the company is. They're going to be able to grow, gain position, and gain skills as they go. These are tangible initiatives which are going to lead to reliable metrics. So we're going to be able to see a person grow, the growth rate, where they go, and keep a network. So if you go through our program, we're going to be able to see where you go through our networking process. So that's going to provide a big impact on the global community, so we can leverage relationships with other companies, other people, and decrease recruiting costs. And lastly, we're going to create an impactful world culture, not just for us, but for everyone involved. Thank you guys so much.